Welcome to the Ancient Way. I'm James.
I'm Marlia.
Little pre-episode bonus here. We have been working behind the scenes on many different things, a variety of things. One of them being a dream journal. We thought, this is something that I would use. I have a dream journal, but wouldn't it be cool if you had a page where you could write your dream down and then like break it down and interpret it, have kind of some guidelines on interpreting the thing. So Marlia and I wrote a intro. It's not a foreword. It's an intro in this dream journal, just kind of detailing our experience with dreams, a couple of stories, and then some guidelines. And then we just launch it off with, there's like a dream page and then an interpretation page throughout the rest of the book. That is now available on Amazon if you would like one.
Yeah, go check it out.
Whenever I've got a copy being shipped to us, whenever we have that one, we'll do a video, just kind of show it and everything like that. Cool design cover, but if that's something you're interested in, it's a really cool journal. Put some good time and a little bit of artwork into it, some little Easter eggs and stuff. Check that out. Also, I would say expect more little ebooks and stuff on the horizon. We're both currently working on, Marlia's working on a book about like prophecy
and connection,
and I'm working on one, kind of has my story in it, but leans more toward like forgiveness. It's kind of a stream of consciousness, but I'm just going to leave it that way. Expect to see those on the very near horizon.
I don't write like James, so it'll be much more fun.
Yeah, I don't write like you either. Yeah, it'll be unique, that's for sure. Just some content, and I've like thoroughly enjoyed writing it. I've wanted to do this for myself, just processing stuff, but I think it'll be really, really good. Kind of everything that is encompassed in Christianity, just some of the ways that we walk and live, and some of our just practices like prayer and, you know, your posture and how you live and respond and stuff. Trying to jot all that stuff down and make it readable. Also, we just launched our memberships on YouTube. So if you are listening to this on YouTube or watching it, you can look down, and next to the subscribe button is a join button. And there are 3 different tiers, a variety of perks. You can get like custom emojis that we designed, custom badges, but also more of, I would say, community like conversations and involvement. Like we're going to be doing polls and questions, and we want to hear everybody, chime in. Our goal is to connect people to the Lord, and we do that through demonstration, but that's kind of what that is for.
Yeah.
And we've kind of dedicated setting a little bit of time aside a month to hop on in the midst of, family and jobs and some chaos, hop on and spend real, actual face-to-face time with some of our listeners in our community.
Yeah, so we'd love it. So just to recap, our journal is on Amazon.
Yes, available now.
Stay tuned for our ebooks and subscribe.
And we have t-shirts, hats, and stickers.
Right. We do have merch.
That is out, and we're still tweaking that a little bit, and we're designing some of the artwork that goes on the t-shirts and stuff. And a lot of it has to do with what we've talked about on the episode.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. So check that out as well. Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, going to the next episode.
Enjoy it.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
She said, but I may miss that. I said, no. I said, I bet you'll get to participate. I bet we all get to participate in that, however it happens, And then, anyways, I don't know why I brought that story up.
That makes me think about, so with the passing of a friend of mine, I have been thinking about, like, what does that look like on the other side when people phase over?
Yeah.
That made me rethink about what I've been meditating on, is like the concept that you'll see so many of your pet doctrines in true perspective.
Yeah.
So like all these things about like Jesus coming back and the rapture or hell and who's in and who's not and all that, like you'll see it in its rightful perspective.
Yeah.
When you phase over, like, oh,
yeah,
never mind.
right. Yeah.
It's not what I thought it was.
I've had dreams and visions of like certain family members and people that I know that can't, it seems like they can't let go of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had dreams of them doing things, like one in particular, this family member, it's like alcohol's a no.
Yeah.
Even to the point where you justify, like, the wine was non-alcoholic in the Bible, like going so far into it to prove that it's just that level. But I had a dream where this family member was drinking on the back porch. And the one thing they kept saying was, this was never even a big deal. Like, this was never even that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, I was like, oh my God, that feels so good. The release of the things that we hold on so tight to. Like, maybe it's really not a big deal.
Yeah. Maybe the pet doctrines aren't so critical the way that we think it is.
Yeah.
The thing that we're trying to force here isn't.
Yeah.
You know, all I think about is like what is the foundation of the earth? Yeah. It's love.
Yeah. That's it.
It's like, what if that was the entire focal point of loving people well, trying to show up for people.
Yeah.
Building other people up, covering other people, choosing forgiveness, choosing the higher way, which is to lay down your own life. It's like, maybe that is what the whole thing is actually about.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. And it's being like him. Mm-hmm. That was, yeah. That's it. That's what Melanie said back in like episode 5. Her grandmother coming back.
Yeah,
speaking of from the other side of the tracks, coming back, saying, I'm here to give you a message. Yeah. It's all about love. None of that other stuff matters. Like, it's all about love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, call back to that episode, by the way. We've got almost 120 episodes, but go back to that one and check it out. That's a good one. That's what it's called. The episode is called It's All About Love. Yeah, recently, my job here has been the past year. Mm-hmm. It's gotten tough, and oh my gosh, I've grown so much through it. This one specifically. But one thing that's come up over the past year has been like sacrifice and doing difficult things. And recently, it's hit another wave of like the place. Some of my life feels straight up cursed sometimes. And it's like, well, how are you going to respond to it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, but then it goes back to even in the valley of shadow of death. Mm-hmm. It's like we endure the elements. God doesn't protect us from the elements.
Yeah.
He doesn't keep you from experiencing darkness and things like that. But that realization that he's with you in it and you can apply him in it. I had a situation where kind of tough financial stuff here at this place. Really tough. Already made sacrifices, but over the past year, I made a sacrifice of like, do we keep going or do we not? And I've had dreams about it, and I just feel like I'm digging in a pasture. Somebody said, "Hey, there's a treasure under that tree in that pasture. Go dig for it." And I'm going on a word.
Yeah.
And I'm digging, and I'm like, maybe I'll hit this with my shovel. But that whole past year, I made that sacrifice, and then these ways were paved and things came into place that I never would have known. People I never would have met, never would have experienced any of this had I not made that sacrifice. And so here it is a year later, and I can see what I've gained from it. The relationships and the people and the stories, even the freaking hard things that I've had to go through. I'm thankful for it. And now here's another wave of like, all right, let's do some deeper. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
And I've had these dreams where Satan showed up. He's like, are you done yet? And recently had another wave of like, and it's like, man, what do you do? Such a tight, desperate spot. What would you do, Lord? And this like sacrifice came to my mind.
Yeah.
Of like a heroic thing. And it's the one decision that felt based out of peace and out of love and out of like actual power.
Oh, that's so good.
And when that popped up, I was like, that's the move. That's the move to make. So I did it. And it's for other people. Like there are things that are bigger than us. There are visions that are bigger than us. But still, I think I see something at the end of this. And it sends a message. But it's you get to display his nature in some really difficult times.
Yeah, man.
And maybe the stage gets set for us to do that. Where people are looking at you, or you're experiencing something super heavy and just crazy, and it's like, this is an injustice, but it's like, no, this is a demonstration if you line up with him.
Yeah, that actually, I had the opportunity, I recently, whenever we release this, it'll probably be a little bit, but I had a friend, somebody that worked with me and whatever, like he just passed away, and the way that the Lord actually kept throwing the door open for me to be able to show up in big ways for people and actually almost be the grounding place of peace in the midst of what is literal chaos. Yeah. Just some strange things. It's like what you're saying is like the honor is in how you show up. It's in what you're demonstrating in the midst of it. And, I think death is the thing that people get the weirdest with. Yeah. I feel like I've had some real tokens from the Lord about what happens after death and the reality and how thin this veil is, and that almost every single time death is a promotion. Yeah. It's not a punishment. Yeah. And even people who you think aren't really fully there, actually deep within them are carrying love, and they have done the best that they could with what they had, and how much grace and compassion actually is available to people. Yeah. I know it. Yeah. It's just like, I think we've limited God so much in his ability to cover us. Yeah. And to love us well. Yep. I do too. Anyways, it's been it's just funny that you said that. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like I've kind of been in the same thing, like that joke, like anything that can go wrong has gone wrong. Yeah. Well, and the picture that keeps popping into my head. I was telling somebody else about this the other day too, but it's like the Lord when he's going up on the Mount of Transfiguration, like the gates of hell. That particular mountain is where all these pagan shrines were, and it's where all the worship of the pagan gods was, and it was known as the gates of hell. And he took them up that mountain, and then when he got to the top of it, he kind of flexed who he was a little bit. And they all saw it right on their doorstep. And I think that's what some of these situations are for us, opportunities to show him, to apply him to it, or to demonstrate him, But there's something so valuable about looking at it and seeing it, like not shying away from it, crying, really fully, just going into whatever's going on, and really fully feeling it, and fully taking the word of the Lord in the midst of it. You may not actually have the word; somebody else may have the revelation, but it would speak into what you're going through. But like, for example, I'd been asking the Lord, like, hey, will you give me a word about native? Will you speak into that for me? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Of course I didn't get it. Zach had a dream. And Zach had such a pointed dream about these water spigots that were all around native. It was in this beautiful land that had this beautiful river flowing right behind it, and it had all these water spigots all the way around it, and there were so many access points for water. Yeah. And he turned it on, and he said, wow, like, I can't believe how much water is here. Side note, ironically, our cold plunge flooded today. And there's so much water everywhere. There's so much water everywhere. Interesting. It literally flooded the floors, all the floors from the beginning, from the front of it to the back. And anyways, it's just funny. It's like, so taking that token of like, hey, there's actually resources here. Heaven is here. And then for that to show up in the natural, you could either get discouraged by, okay, I have to now close my business for a couple of days because there's water everywhere, and now we have to remedy the water damage and all this stuff. Or you can look at it as like, you know what? The Lord showed me there was water everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there are resources. There's like, this thing's going to work out.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, it's like, how are you going to filter it? What's the perspective going to be? Are you going to look through all of the circumstances? Because I think it's easy to do that. And I think it's natural to do that.
Yeah.
And I think you should do that, but then get in the midst of it and then push it out.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, what is the Lord really saying?
And decide
here?
where you're going to side in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the key that you said earlier is so brilliant. You said that you made the decision based in peace.
Yeah.
It's like where you had the most peace.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes peace looks like doing the most difficult thing.
Yeah. Well, and peace is not money. Or security sometimes.
Yeah.
The peace that surpasses understanding is what would he do kind of thing. You know, maybe it's not. Maybe it's the absence of those other things.
Yeah. I mean, if Jesus could pull coins out of a fish's mouth to pay taxes.
Yeah.
I don't think he's so concerned about the monetary aspects that we so often attribute to
peace and security. Yeah. I think he tries to train us otherwise.
Very, very much
That's
so.
what many of these opportunities are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you either, you know, I think one of the biggest things too is like that scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, God's not going to provide for me. Or then you have the swing on the other side where it's like, all God wants to give you is nothing but riches.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have an abundant life, but I am saying that we shouldn't do it the way of the world.
No, we shouldn't. And I would rather, if I was going to have an abundant life, like finances and stuff like that, I would rather have the experiences that I have now in the difficult stuff. I would rather have all that. I would rather have the just god-awful pain and annoyance dealing with people. I'd rather have all that than not.
Yeah.
It makes you a well-rounded 100% person who you're supposed to be.
Yeah, you grow out of it for sure.
Yeah.
That's like, Zach and I were talking about this the other day. I was like, we're going to miss this. We're going to miss this season.
Yeah.
Where kind of like Daniel in the lion's den.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee you that lit him up.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah.
And he valued that extreme experience because it's like, you know what you're made of.
Yeah.
The extremity will, like,
you do.
Things that are of the extreme, you see, okay, like, this thing is of him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And regardless of the outcome, I mean, I kind of have resolve. Regardless of the outcome, I will look back and I will know and say, like, yeah, I totally had faith in that. Whether everything burns down or collapses, like, I'll look back and say, I held on to that thing.
Yeah.
And I demonstrate it. And it gets so thin, like on my end, the things that have happened with me, what I've noticed is it could look like you're losing everything. Things, you know, awful. But what it looks like is everything is chiseled down, especially this more recent thing. It's chiseled down to the point where I've been handed a microphone and I'm on stage and all the lights on me. And it's like, what are you going to do? And it's like, I'm going to do what he would do. Like, demonstrate him. And it's like, okay, that sends a message that speaks to people. It doesn't make any sense. I've had very wise people say, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just what it is.
We display the crazy.
We display it. Yeah. But like we pull coins out of fish's mouth. We make a mockery of the world and we showcase that heavenly decision making. You know, we do things a different way.
Yeah.
And when you believe it, that's scary, but it's also really hopeful to people. And it's like, it's otherworldly. It's like, it don't make sense, but for some strange reason, they believe that. And I kind of trust them. I kind of believe them too a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they're seeing something.
Well, you can pull people into it.
Yeah.
Because it has weight.
Yep.
I think there's also that place where you come into, I could feel people wrestling in their mind when you were saying that about like, yeah, I don't have belief like that. I don't believe in that manner. Like I want to believe, but I don't.
Yeah.
And I could just feel like the Lord's heart of that, of like, you know what? Even if you don't believe like that yet, even if the resolve isn't there yet, ask for it.
Yeah.
Get curious about it.
I wrote what you just said. I wrote that in my book that I'm writing. It's like, if you want to believe, that's enough.
Yeah.
If you want to believe.
Yeah.
That's enough right there. That'll kickstart the thing.
That's for a long time, my husband is hysterical, but he does, I don't know if anybody else, I call him mind gymnastics. You're just like, golly, dude, your thoughts think on top of your thoughts, upside down your thoughts. Like, he's definitely an overanalyzer.
Yeah.
Sometimes they wear me out, but it's just funny. But he said that, he was like, I think I want to. Good. And I was like, I mean, this was, probably 8 years ago. He was like, I think I want to.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, get rid of one of those wants and you'll be fine.
You'll be closer. Yeah. That's good, though. I feel that, though. I feel that's real.
Yeah.
I think I want to. Yeah.
But he just doubted himself.
Man, yeah.
It was like that place of self-doubt and shame that where you start to second guess yourself. It's like, actually just believe that you're inherently good and that you actually have a pure desired heart.
Yeah. But man, that's a strong one, because then it's like that goes into, do I want to be bitter? It almost unlocks like, oh man, maybe I actually want to be in this. Yeah. That's what it made me think of. It's like, do I actually want to? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. But it's good. And then all of this really stuff too, going back to like, it's all about love. It really makes you value what's important. It really brings that into play. And the people around you too, the people that are with you, it's like, man, we really are surrounded by some valuable people. Dude. Really are. Yeah.
I had that thought a week and a half ago. I was just like, wow, the people that I am surrounded with. Yeah. We're freaking giant slayers. Like, and I think everybody actually is. Yeah. If they have eyes to see the way that the Lord sees.
They are. Yeah.
Like, there's some people are outstanding.
Yeah, they are.
They're highly just brilliant beings that, I don't know, I was like catching wind of it. It's just like, oh my gosh, the potential to rectify. I get why God chose us. Yeah. That's not to be arrogant. That's not like, Yeah. It's like, wow, I see how magnificent we are to unlock each other, to unlock creation.
And what do you think the joy set before him was? Yeah. Was us. Yeah.
Yeah, it hit me about a week and a half
ago. It was you.
Ago.
Whoever listened to this, that's you.
Yeah. You're a freaking giant slayer.
Yeah.
You're not subject to any circumstance around you. No matter a loss, no matter financial, no matter relational strain, stress, like, yeah, man, you're actually the answer to the.
Yeah. That's hitting me right now. Golly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, just to everybody like listening to this? I mean, myself included, and you included. Of him, like, you see him going to that, carrying that cross and his face hanging off, and him having you on his mind, of like, I'm doing this for you as a individual person. Like, golly, that's the joy set before him. He endured all that. Just the deepest hell they could throw at him, and he's like, no, you're worth it.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's brilliant. That's love.
Yeah, man. It makes me think, like, whatever you're actually going through is so small in comparison. Like, You feel like there's pressure around you. He felt the pressure. You think there's darkness surrounding you. Think there's curses surrounding you.
Yeah.
Look over, like he already took it.
Yeah.
Like he encountered those things. So ask him about it.
Yeah, ask him about it. Do it like he did. Maybe lock into that. Lock into loving those things and see it the way he saw it.
Lock into the love.
Yeah.
Lock into the love of the person, whoever that is, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, he did something. Yeah. Yeah, he did something seriously massive. We just can't even, I don't think we're to a point. Maybe we can comprehend it, but I don't think we fully
I think it'll
do
take
right
eternity.
now. Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
I think we will always grow in understanding of what he did.
Yeah. Wow.
That's why I think that's why all the angels always said, "Holy, holy, holy."
Yeah. Yeah, I do too.
They kept saying a new thing about him.
Yeah.
New understanding would come over them.
They could see him in us. That's scriptural too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know that keyboard back there has 225?
Does it really?
Yeah. I've been staring at it.
Get out of here. It does. And it's in red letters. Oh, man. And we had that turtle that's outside with the hourglass on it. I'm like, I always thought if I ever got another tattoo, I want an hourglass right here. Had a vision of an hourglass one time. It was broken and the sand was outside of it, outside of time and space.
Yeah.
And the turtle painting on the wall of this place where we record this. Just a big old massive painting of a turtle carrying an hourglass. We'll post that in the
For real.
community.
Freaking hysterical, though.
Yeah. And that scripture I got that morning about like
Galatians 6:9.
Yes.
Don't grow weary in doing good.
Yeah.
We will reap a reward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in there. Yeah.
So brilliant, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up.
Yeah.
With the hourglass and the turtle, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
That's good. I saw, speaking of turtles earlier, I see them on license plates. They're on people's cars everywhere.
You're welcome. I'm really glad I could jumpstart that for you.
Yeah. Well, I saw a turtle earlier today on there's a sticker on the back of a car and it said something, live Aloha, which is like Hawaiian. The meaning of Aloha is, it's a word for love, affection, peace, compassion, and mercy. And it says live that way. And the turtle's next to it.
So good.
This turtle embodies so much meaning, you know. We've been seeing them all over the place.
We went to my sister's lake house this weekend for Bexley's 4th birthday.
Yeah.
And there were turtles everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a log that they all just hung out on.
So just a big turtle.
It's a turtle fest.
I was going through some dreams over the past year, and one of them, it was me and a bunch of friends went down a slide in a blue turtle shell. Yeah. So there we go. It's just in there. It's been there in front of my face for some years, you know. Every one of my dreams, though, over the past year, I was just going through reading them all. Every single one of them was battling, getting attacked, battling demonic stuff, and persisting through like some serious damage and attack. This just is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's like you're built for this stuff.
I had a dream about that last night.
Yeah.
People kept they were consistently trying to take things from me.
Yeah.
And I was getting pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, I was trying to be nice and like, okay, you can take that, you can take that, you can take that. And finally I was just like, stop already.
Yeah.
And I like put my foot down about it. So that's just funny.
Yeah.
No, speaking of, it's funny that you said Aloha. Okay. This might be a long story and I hope that people can track. In 2021, I was in this pocket of my life where I was quitting Division I women's basketball refereeing. I didn't know it yet, but I was in the midst of it. The Lord was preparing me for it. But I was in Kentucky every summer you had to go when you referee, and you have to like quote unquote retry out, even though you're already hired and whatever. I call it the dog and pony show.
Yeah.
You just have to you have to go do it. You have to pay your fee. You have to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was working for big conferences. So it's just kind of like, this is just what you do.
Yeah.
They said it was to get more games or whatever. Anyways, so while I'm at this camp, I'm having things like literally, I would have a dream about it and then it would happen the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And, I had like this halfway awake, halfway asleep where the Lord actually picked up water and mud and he made muddy water and he said, this is your DNA. The next day I had somebody start screaming at me like mad, said, stop muddying up the waters. And I was like,
whoa,
interesting. It was just like the conflict, the two voices. You know? And, then the next night I had this dream that I was moving to Hawaii. And in Hawaii, I'd gotten like this BMW and Zach and I were like relocating. And anyways, the next day I was at Trader Joe's getting like food. And I saw two, by the way, I'm in Kentucky, saw two BMWs with Hawaii license plates.
What?
Yeah. Next to each other. One blue, one white. And I was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. Okay. So during that time, I was really wrestling with whether or not I was going to quit.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get political here, but this is when they decided to mandate the vaccine. And I had a history of seizures. And so I was like, it's a hard no for me. I'm just not doing that. Anyways, due to that, I was the only one that actually ended up quitting because I was just like, you can't force me to do that.
Yeah.
Well, the day that I quit, so hold on, mind you, one of the BMW license plates said TX 464. Okay. And I'd written that down, which is Texas, right?
Yeah.
46.4. As soon as I hang up the phone, 4 months later, I should say. So that happened in July. 4 months later, I'm having to make this phone call saying, hey, I'm not returning.
Yeah.
I get a text from Kaylee.
Okay. Yeah.
So Kaylee is James's sister-in-law. Well, she sent it in like the group me or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, I just felt like I needed to share this with y'all. I got this scripture and the Lord put it on my heart. Isaiah 46:4. And it says, I am he who will sustain you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which anybody that knows anything about my life from that moment forward has been a mass unraveling.
Yeah.
There's no other way to say that. Just insane.
Yeah.
So 2 nights ago, I was up because I sometimes wake up from 1 to 5 a.m. these days.
Yeah.
And I start thinking about that time period. And I start thinking about Hawaii and like coming back to that place, that Aloha state and paradise, and something that is like fulfilling, and how like the Lord has sustained me. And I was just thinking about that season.
Yeah.
Bexley and I go to Sprouts and I park next to a license plate from Hawaii that I have not seen a Hawaii license plate in 3 years.
Wow.
And it was just one of those markers for me. And it was like a pit in my stomach hit me. And I was like, this season has ended. This 3-year journey that I've been on, like this has been something that's been completed about this. And it's like, hey, you've entered into this space, and it was delightful. Anyways, you were saying Aloha, but all that made me think of is like, there's so many things that the Lord will take you on for years at a time.
Yeah.
And so if you feel like you're stuck in the mud, or feel like you feel like you don't have very much vision, or you can't, whatever, like zoom out and look at the patterns of your life.
Yeah.
like what's been going on for the last 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, and like get a higher perspective. Because he might actually be leading you right into the very thing that would cause your heart to come alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
while you were saying that, I was looking up because you said Hawaii and it triggered like I wrote that somewhere recently before this turtle Aloha thing today. I was like, I wrote down Hawaii somewhere and I could not find it. So, but it's something somewhere. No, that's good though.
It's freaking interesting.
Something there.
I know that was a long.
No, that was good. That's good. It's good for people to know too. You've been saying recently hindsight is 20/20. But you can kind of take that from some people too. Maybe not to a fuller, more real extent, as if you experienced it yourself. But you can take hindsight 20/20 from other people.
Yeah.
I've had older people say, James, just trust me, it'll be worth it. Or like, just do this or stick this out or don't do that. And it's like, sometimes you can take it,
Yeah. If it feels like peace, do it.
That's true. Yeah. If it feels like peace. Yeah. Yeah. Good. I'm glad we did this episode.
Yeah.
The last one is lost.
It was not supposed to be.
Wasn't. Maybe one day we'll post it in the extra.
I don't know. I was saucy that day.
Bonus content. Nah. I think it was good. There was some stuff in there. There are even some words for some people we gave. It's for a time. There's something we need to do with that one. That's true.
We should probably clip it and just put it at the end.
Yeah.
What's funny about that word that I did give? One of the words that I gave, I could apply that to my life now.
Yeah.
Like after looking at everything that's happened over the course of like a week, it's just like, holy crap.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Good.
I didn't know it when we recorded it.
Yeah.
But.
Sometimes you don't. Probably most of the time we don't.
No.
All right.
No. All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time.
Thank y'all. If you enjoyed this episode of the Ancient Way podcast, drop us a like, share with your friends, share with your family. And if you'd like to support us and what we are doing, and you would like to play a direct role in our growth and things that we do in the future,
we have a donation spot at the bottom of our show notes. So you can click on that, give however much you want. We appreciate absolutely everything. We appreciate our listeners. And everybody that's already come alongside and encouraged us, and even everybody that's been on our show. So thanks, guys.